From Lagos, the nation's commercial capital, this is the news at 10, live from Channels Television. Reported tonight,
Bimbo Oloede.
Hello and welcome. Tonight, a federal high court sitting in Lagos convicts 3 men of participating in acts of terrorism and of being members of a proscribed organization, the Boko Haram sect. Southern Kaduna youths kick against the killings of their people in Sanga and Kaura local government areas. The president receives a special award from the Anglican Church in Nigeria. And pro-democracy crowds grow in Hong Kong ahead of what organizers hope will be the largest protest so far.
And on Business News tonight, Chairman Board of the International Organization of Securities Commission calls for transparency among capital markets around the world in a bid to foster growth.
While on sports news, Chairman Delta State Sports Commission, Mr. Amaju Pinnick, emerges President of the Nigeria Football Federation.
We begin tonight here in Lagos, Nigeria's southwest region, where a federal high court has sentenced 3 Boko Haram members to 75 years jail with hard labor. The judgment was delivered by Justice Ibrahim Buba in camera. Justice Buba had earlier granted an application that the trial should be conducted in secret following an application to that effect and because of the need to protect the witnesses in the case. Specifically, the convicts were sentenced to 25 years each. Initially, 17 suspects were charged to court, but they were later reduced to 4 following the withdrawal of the case against some of the suspects. The 17 suspects initially charged were arraigned before Justice Buba on 18 counts, bordering on conspiracy to commit terrorism, illegal possession of firearms, and being members of a proscribed organization. They were alleged to have been caught in possession of 3 packets of explosive construction pipes, 15 detonators, and 11 AK-47 rifles with 30 rounds of live ammunition. The other items allegedly found in the possession of the accused include 200 rounds of 7.6 millimeters live ammunition, 2 suitcases containing explosives, and a water container filled with explosives. Now, angry young youths from the southern part of Kaduna State have demonstrated against the incessant killings of their people in Sanga and Kaura local government areas of the state by suspected armed Fulani herdsmen. The protest is coming barely 2 weeks after suspected Fulani gunmen attacked 3 villages in Sanga local government, killing over 33 people. The protesters also want the state government to rescind its decision on one Christiana Musa, a senior civil servant who was relieved of her position for allegedly taking part in a protest over the incessant attacks in Sanga last week. They threatened to take the state government to court if it fails to restore the embattled woman to her former position and also bring the killings to an end. Meanwhile, the spokesman for the state governor, Ahmed Mayaki, spoke in defense of the government, saying that government's priority is to secure the lives and property of its people.
We want to appeal to the Nigerian state to come to the aid of southern Kaduna people where there is a systematic genocide. 4,000 people have been killed. We want the world to come to our aid. And we want to also appeal to the Kaduna state government to cease from victimizing Mrs. Christiana E. Musa and to allow her return back to her work. And we also want to hope that before long, we will stop calling on government to do that which is supposed to do.
Some of them have not even been to Sanga. They just sit down and make statements, irresponsibly, saying government has not done A or B. It is very, very clear to everyone what government has done and the commitment of government. And of course, it requires the support of everyone, both those that are security agencies, as well as those of us who live in these communities, to also play our part of ensuring there is genuine reconciliation among our people, of ensuring there is genuine mutual understanding, among people that have different religious or ethnic affiliations.
Meanwhile, casual workers at the Linda Manufacturing Company in Iju in the Agege area of Lagos State also took to the streets today to protest about the death of one of their colleagues. The worker, who died last week Wednesday, was said to have been refused permission by the management of the company to treat himself when he took ill, but was said to have died at the premises afterwards. Our correspondent, Chris Illems, reports.
It's a very sad day today for workers at Linda Manufacturing Company here in Iju, protesting the death of one of their workers who was said to have died while on duty because he was refused permission to go treat himself even though he was seriously ill. And they're also protesting the inhuman treatment meted to them by management of the company. The ill of workers' casualization has once again manifested itself here, but this time it has taken with it a victim, 26-year-old young Nigerian from Delta State, and the workers cannot stomach it any longer.
I was just walking here. They didn't give me permission. That day I was sick. I was feeling chest. I was coughing out blood like this. I told them to give me permission. They did not give me permission, so I had to resign. That is the same thing they did. This guy is my very, very close friend. That is what they did to him. They didn't give me permission. The boy now died. They now put him inside the gutter so that the worker will not know what kind of nonsense is that. There will be increasing targets every day, and the salary is too small.
Jonathan should come for our rescue. I don't see a reason why a white man will come all the way from his land and come here to be maltreating citizens. We don't want. We are daughters and sons of the soil. So we have to, because of this thing that we do, they have written 200 workers that they are going to sack, and we don't want them to sack. If they sack anybody, it will be there will be another riot here, and we won't take it lightly with them. That is what I want to say. That 27 points is killing. We don't want it again. What is the meaning of 27 points? We don't want it again.
The 27 points we gather is a measure put in place by the management of the company to regulate the activities of these workers. And they say the measure is too stringent.
We want to work, yes, but what about our life? These people, they don't care about our life. So the 27 points is the main issue. Now, then our hospitality is very bad. It's very poor. When you go there to collect drugs, they give you the same drug for every for whatever that is doing you.
Efforts to hear the sides of the management met a brick wall as they were said to be in a meeting, but the workers described it as a ploy to get us off their backs. This is one death too many, one insensitive move too often, and it's a call on the government and concerned authorities to effectively monitor the activities of foreign investors in the country in order to protect her citizens. Chris Illems, Channels Television News.
The Supreme Court will, on November the 21st this year, decide the fate of former Deputy Governor of Taraba State, Mr. Abubakar Danladi. Mr. Danladi, who was impeached by the Taraba State House of Assembly in September 2012 for gross misconduct and engaging in private businesses, had gone to the court to challenge the ruling of the appeal court, which upheld the ruling of the Federal High Court in Taraba that he was duly and constitutionally impeached. In a unanimous judgment, a 5-member panel of justices of the appellate court, delivered by Justice Musa Abba Aji, dismissed the appeal brought before it by the impeached deputy governor for lacking in merit.
This is about the deputy governor of Taraba who was impeached some time ago, and he appealed, and that's why we're here, challenging the impeachment on the grounds that the panel did not comply with the rules, the House did not comply with the rules, that everything about the impeachment was wrong. That's our contention, everything. I mean, why is the Supreme Court here? It is because lower courts do err. They do err. So that's why we are here, and we are optimistic. We think we have a good case. We wouldn't come here if we didn't have confidence in our case.
We want the appeal of the former deputy governor of Taraba State to be dismissed. It's as simple as that. Because 2 other courts had said it was wrong. It was in the High Court, it was in the Court of Appeal. So, and that's our prayer.
No, as far as we are concerned, there is due compliance with the constitutional provisions. But we cannot preempt the justices because they have the final say.
Your prayer before the appeal?
Well, we urge that the decisions of the 2 findings of the 2 lower court, that is the Court of Appeal and then the High Court, be affirmed by the Supreme Court, that they should uphold those decisions and then dismiss the appeal.
In part 2, after the break, and in continuation of our Independence Day series, our focus tonight is on the judiciary. Please stay with us.